What is up? Welcome back. Today I'm gonna talk to you guys about common problems with cars, and thank you, Callie, for requesting this information. I know you're having issues with your Subaru, but the question is quite broad, so I'm gonna approach it in the best possible way. Now, you have some issues with your catalytic converter, and usually that means you have either some issues with emissions or potentially other type of issues with your car. Now let me rephrase that. You have some codes that your car gave you on a check engine light, and you have basically cleared them to pass inspection, which is okay, but it turns into every year have to do. Ideally, you would want to get your catalytic converter changed or swapped, but that implies a lot more work. So what I'm going to cover in this video will just be on how to utilize a computer to diagnose your car check engine lights. So that being said, today my car does not have a check engine light, but if you watch my series often, I have been having some issues with my Subaru BRZ and some check engine lights due to a position sensor, not a position sensor, it's called bank position slow, which means a sensor who is in charge of checking the camshaft potentially is slow due to being old, and therefore you need to replace it. Now, that was a check engine light that I kept on getting, and had to buy a device to scan it. Now, usually you would take it to a mechanic shop or to AutoZone, and then they will scan it for you and tell you what the error code is, and then you would take it from there, or you would go to the dealership and they will scan it and take it from there. That being said, it's always handy when you don't want to spend too much money, and in your case that you want to take the easy route, which is scanning and clearing. I would recommend getting one of these machines or devices. These devices are basically scanners that plug into your OBD port, and your OBD port just throws a code. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do it, but it's not going to throw any codes due to me fixing any issues. But if your car had any issues, it would throw the codes. So let's get on it. So the first thing you would have to do is you would have to take the device, and usually comes with your port, included on your device. And so you have one monitor-like plug that goes into your device, and you twist the ends on it, and then you're going to be able to plug it in. Now, this is a power on connection, so when you connect this to your car, it will power it up. It will not work with batteries. I don't know if there are any with batteries, but usually that's how it works. When you plug this in, as you can see, this is your OBD port. OBD port is what cars use to communicate with computers, usually to interchange data and information. Usually that's how the one that they connect on your inspection, and how they find out if you have any issues or your emissions or any of the necessary diagnostics are either working or not working for inspections to pass. Now, when you plug this in, it will power it up automatically, so you will get something like this. As you can see now, my port is plugged in and it's now powered up. Now, what you're gonna do is, let me get the camera here. What you will be doing now is you're going to basically get into the main menu, right? You see how you have OBD-II, EOBD, that's for check engine light errors. You're gonna check for the test. In this case, what you're doing is you're checking for your test emissions and everything. This will be the one that tells you if it's ready. Have you ever had issues when the inspection places, they tell you, oh, you're not ready to be passed, that you gotta run the car for a couple miles? Well, that's what it means. Your systems are not ready. In this case, my car is all ready. In New York State, you are allowed to have one system, I believe, not ready, and they will still pass inspection, which I'm assuming that's the case that you're going through, where when you reset the system, your catalytic gets reset and it's not ready, and they allow you to pause because it's not ready, and that's the one that you get a pass on. But anyways, so we're gonna escape here. As you can see, this is semi a computer. You have the option for escaping, for backtracking, for systems, for lookup of codes, and preview live data, right? So you preview data, you can read codes or preview data, but we're not gonna focus on that right now. What we're gonna focus on is if you had a check engine light on your car and it was popping on your dashboard, you would click on that check engine icon and you would scan, right? Now once it finishes scanning, it will tell you the codes that your system has or your car has, and therefore you have to fix. In this case, I have nothing, because I just cleared my codes and I fixed my sensor. So read codes, no codes are in the module, which means my car is fully healthy, fully functional. And if you had some codes, this is the part you want to pay attention to. If you got you went into read codes and threw back a code back at you, what you would do is you would go erase codes, and erase codes, are you sure? You will have the check engine light on the dashboard, but when you click on yes, it would ask you that the data will be, it would, obviously I'm not going to do it right now, but like it would ask you to verify and then to basically confirm that you want to do that. And once that happens, your dashboard will be cleared of lights. Now that doesn't mean you fixed the problem. Now, do not confuse this, because if you clear the codes and that was a code that comes every now and then and can turn into a fatal problem, you might be hiding a problem. So I do not recommend you just clear for clearing. But if this is something that you continuously have to, like I was doing with my sensor, that I knew it was a sensor, I just did not want to swap it yet, I will clear the codes every now and then. I would continue with my life. But I do not recommend that, because if the car needs something that is automatically, the check engine light will come right back up. So if your check engine light comes right back up, it means that something is really wrong and you should be taken, the car should be taken to be fixed. So I hope this information helped. This is basically a tool that you can get on any AutoZone, on any auto parts store, or you can order it off of Amazon. I believe this was off of Amazon, and I ended up paying about, I don't know, it was like $60. So if this makes sense for you to do, you can totally just get that. And if it doesn't, then just try to fix the issue. Ideally, you would want to try to fix the issue to get it resolved. But if it is too much of a hustle, then by all means, give it a try. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And one more thing, while you're at this, it's always good to have one of these machines in case you want to buy a used car, because usually when you buy a used car, you don't know what you're getting into. As I mentioned, it's really easy to clear codes and just think that the car is running proper. But if it is not, then you will not find out until after you run 30 to 60 miles, which at that point you're out of the dealership, out of the place that you bought it from, and you may not be able to catch it in time. Now, I know dealerships have some sort of clauses where you have 24 hours to return, but some of them are slick and they will not allow you to return it. Or you would just not pay attention and just go home, not run it for a couple weeks, and you're basically ruined. Now, this is very, very good when you're trying to do that, because you can bring your device, scan while you're at the dealership, and if you see codes that were previously in the machine, or not previously in the machine, rather previously in the engine, you may be able to see them, or you may be able to scan them and understand further how, if it has any codes that are already present but not popping. So this will be very important in that aspect. Also, you get a peace of mind and you'll be able to understand if they're trying to sell you something that is not what it looks like. So I hope this helps.